Welcome back to episode 4 of Zippy to the Moon. If you watched all the episodes this far, you know what's happening. But essentially, last episode, we managed to actually crash into the moon, which I just couldn't imagine I didn't think we'd ever make it. Didn't think we'd make it. So, today I think we start the actual mission of getting somebody landed on the moon, planting our flag, and maybe even flying home. That'd be nice. But that's probably getting way ahead of ourselves. Now, I had great visions of showing the build for this one, but about halfway through my flight, I realized that my mic was muted the whole time, so we're just gonna, just jump into it here. But I will give you a quick rundown on it. So, if you couldn't tell by all the flags everywhere, I figured out how to put the DPN flag in the game, so that's pretty sweet. So we have a 3-stage rocket here. Obviously, we've got the single pod on the top. We've given it provisions to land. It's got a heat shield just in case we actually do make it back to Kerbal. It's got a parachute in case we make it back to Kerbal. We've got actual landing gear this time. Incredible. We're planning on landing on the moon here, you know. We've got a nice little Reliant engine to do our final stage with, which somehow has to make it back here. Not sure how, but that's fine. And then we've got a second stage with a Reliant also. And I do kind of want to change something there. I want to change this engine out. I don't think this is enough, judging by what happened when I was playing with them, like. So, let's give that just a little more. Honestly, we might even just give it a little more fuel, too. Because I don't think we had quite enough to do what we were trying to do. So let's add some more of everything. You know what it is. We gotta turn this white because we do that. This rocket is quite the piece of machinery. It is beautiful. That should be better than it was. So, and then we'll even give it a few. I didn't do this the last time, obviously, but do it now. Something like that. It'll probably break and make us crash or something, but that's fine. So, I think this thing is ready to go. Now it's a bit lanky in the middle, but we didn't add that much weight, so it should be still pretty great, honestly. So let's do the thing here. We've got all of our stages ready. So let's head to the launch pad. So here we are, ready to launch. What a beautiful piece of equipment. We got the TVN flags everywhere. The scenery is, well, this place doesn't have much to offer, but that's why we're going elsewhere. As you can see, we got Valentina back. Not sure how. Apparently everything so far has just been a bad dream. And I keep just exiting like a dingus, so that doesn't help. But this thing is ready to go. And also, before we hit this launch button, I'd just like to state thank you to the fella that commented on the video that told me I need all the engine to hit the moon. Because I did indeed need all the engine. If you didn't see that, go back to the last little episode and see how much engine I needed. It was quite a bit. And also, if you're going to make a habit of commenting on our videos, you could always hit the subscribe button. But nothing wrong with not doing that, I guess. And, yeah, without further ado, let's try to get this thing into orbit. I do believe that is going to be our first step. So, throttle up, stability assist, because I am bad, and let's get her going here. Great launch there. And we will hit this thing to prograde. Not really sure what that does. It's probably not really the best idea. But I like it. So I could read retrograde is, and that would probably tell me if I need to continue doing that. We can throttle this thing down. Let's throttle her down, save a little bit of fuel, because we've already burned through like half of our fuel. And we will just keep going here into the depths of space. And building some heat. We're moving pretty quickly. We do need some speed for the actual orbit, so we'll just let it continue to build. Throttle down a little bit here. We're about ready to be able to drop our boosters off. They're about out of fuel. There they are. Now we are running on what's left of our liquid fuel in the big tank, and we will probably drop that off here in a minute also. Get ourselves a little bit closer to where we need to do the maneuver to get into orbit. Okay, now I am told that, and I've hit the maneuver button that lines us up here. I could do that manually, but I'm not very skilled, so I'm not gonna. I'm told you need to split the burn time with the node, essentially. So we will do our burn at 20 seconds. So just a little waiting time here, but have you ever seen such a beautiful piece? I mean, it's great. And we are lined up with the moon, so that's also good. We should have a good orbit here, assuming that I'm actually going this direction. Valentina's hanging on in there for dear life. And in 10 seconds, we will hit the burn. And that'll officially get us into orbit. Hopefully. And at this time, this thing burns a ton of fuel. Maybe that engine wasn't a good choice after all. But that's what the fuel's there for, as long as we have enough to do the maneuver to get heading to the moon, of course. And we should be good. Yes, a nice, crisp orbit. So, and where is the moon relative to us? Way over there. So, let's just do our thing here. Essentially, now that we are orbiting, we just need to start figuring out what our route is going to be. And somehow get ourselves to this. We have to collide with it one way or another. Let's get ourselves a little ways in the time here. Just floating. Make sure everything is good with our orbit. Which it is. And I feel like somewhere around here is where we need to set course.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Alright. So we've got our next burn ready to go, and we're about to hit that now. That should get us heading where we need to head, which of course is to get in line with the moon one way or another. So this is our burn to get us heading where we need to head. And this is going to put us on collision course with the moon. Now let's see what it looks like out here. There it is. There's the big thing. Now we just need to get ourselves on a collision. Well, we don't want to be on a collision with the moon, so we need to get ourselves orbiting the moon. We'll get ourselves wrapping around it a little bit here. We'll get a little closer to it even. We'll do that maneuver, and then we'll worry about getting even closer to it on this side shortly after. Alright, so great view here. We need to set this to maneuver, because that would be a mistake if we didn't. Hopefully it finds its way there before. Looks like we're trying to slow ourselves down a little bit. That makes sense. Alright, so we need to adjust a bit here and get this to be a little bit tighter of a circle. Something closer to that, perhaps. I think we want to be, we'll go with 18. So that'll be our next maneuver. Look at that. We are so much closer to it now. I guess I should have been looking at it the whole time. I still wonder what this is. I look at it every time we go out into space. Not sure. Probably could check it out at some point. But for now, let's get ourselves down to almost burn time. Once again, we split that in half, so we'll do it at about 3 seconds. Hopefully, it won't get us too close to the thing that we're trying to get close to. Alright, so here we go with the burn. That would be successful if I do. Honestly, we could probably burn a little. Nope, too much. Not great, not great. We're gonna add another maneuver in here. Let's drop off our stage here. I don't think we need so much rocket anymore. Well, at least that thing's floating around the moon for a little while. Yeah, so I guess we're gonna blip the button here. Sure, I'm gonna mess this up. I don't like having such a little amount of time to do that. I mean, our burn time is 0.4 seconds, 0.4 of a second. That's not great. Alright, so we'll work our way down here, get a little closer to 0.4 of a second. Alright, here we go with that nonsense. Oh, I didn't have the friggin' maneuver node set. Not great, not great. Well, that'll get us pretty close to what we're trying to do. So, let's get back to where we can see just how close to this rock we're going to be. And warp time a little bit. And at about 3 seconds, we're going to do a 7-second burn. Obviously, it's pretty hard to see right now, but we're like real close. We'll hit our burn. Which should get us to a nice low orbit here. Yeah, I'll take it. So now is the part where I didn't do enough research, to be honest. I feel like we probably should be trying to land on this side. So we're doing some great orbiting here. Terrific amount even. There's actually a scientific reason that I'm doing that. I don't know what it is. But let's see what it's going to take. I'm not going to make any hasty decisions here.
A few moments later.
I mean, we could just try to land this unit right now. I don't. Oh. Slow ourselves down a little bit. I don't know what I'm doing, in case you couldn't tell. But this is important business we're on. I feel like we just keep slowing down. farther away from what we're trying to do. Also burning an incredible amount of fuel. We want a nice slow descent. We'll let ourselves increase a little bit here. We're at 29,000 meters above sea level, is what I'm told. Change that to terrain. Looking pretty good if I do say so. We're starting to increase speed a little bit, so let's try to slow that down just a little. Looks like we've got enough power to get through that, so we might be able to get this thing landed. See Valentina, she is in a great mood about it. But I think if we can just manage to get this thing stationary on the moon and put a flag in, that'll be good enough for today. And then next episode we'll be trying to get back. But I'm still getting ahead of myself here. We might not make it. We've seen how our missions go. We also don't have very much fuel for leaving this great planet. So let's hope for the best as our speed is increasing rapidly here. I do think maybe we should probably start turning a little bit here. I think retrograde is probably what we're looking for. So we want to just be only using enough fuel to slow our descent down a little bit. Because we do have to have enough fuel to get this thing back somehow. So we're going to have to conserve in that department. But let's speed up just a little bit here. $81. Oh boy, this is nerve-wracking here. Valentina's not worried. She thinks that she has definite control over this. Little does she know I'm in control. But let's keep it marked on the centigrade, or what the hell? What am I saying? I don't even know what that thing is. This thing. We're gonna keep it lined up with that. Alright, and I think we should probably get our speed a little slower than that. Just don't want to use too much fuel to do it. Because, I mean, meters per second. That's pretty excessive. I keep looking at that like it's feet per second or something. Alright. So now we're actually going the wrong way now. So we need to stop doing that. We'll let the descent start again because we just climbed a little bit there. Definitely do not want to do that. So when we get a little closer to the ground, we'll fire up our engines again. I'm just hoping that this marker is going to actually line me up with what's below me so I don't tip over when I hit the ground. But this thing is quite the unit. Actually, I guess if we just put it right on the dot here, that should be pretty close to what we need. Throttle here. Looking good. Our fuel, but just trying to mitigate the throttle here. I'm just hoping we don't land on a surface that's too messed up. About 500 meters left. Does look like we're kind of landing on a hill. We do not have much fuel for the return home, but you know, it's okay. This is not the best area to land, I'm afraid. But we are about to make landfall here, which is incredible. Oh no, oh no. Well, we're down. And of course, the crew hatch is on the bottom, so I'm not sure if she can get out. Why has it gotta be like that? But let's see. Of course. Not ideal. Because I don't have a way of fixing that, I don't think. We need this thing to roll. We need to get into a little bit of a tumble. Can we do it? Can we do it? Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh my god. What are we doing? Wasting some more fuel, why not? Well, we were on the ground once. Let's get a little bit better view of where we're going here. Slower descent down a little. Well, we're landing on a hill now, for sure. Oh my god. Oh no. Alright. Can we just land with the hatch? Why is the hatch always... Is the hatch good this time? Alright, let's see. Oh, this game is irritating me. Alright, well, we're not going to have any fuel left at this rate. Alright, can we get out now? Aha! We are out. We'll figure out how to tip this thing back over later. Beautiful. We have made it. We should probably go this way. Very interesting spot to decide to land. And a very interesting way to land. But we've done it. So, what can we do here? You know what it is. Nice little dance moves there. Nice, beautiful spot for the screenshot. You know what it is. And, you know, I think that's where we'll cut the video for today. And next episode, we will be trying to return back to Kerbal, which is, well, it's a ways out, you know. But what a beautiful sight. I don't know if there's anything else we can even do while we're here. Just be happy, I guess. Beautiful. Well, thank you guys for watching, and we will see you in the next one.